Having admitted to having a favourite, I don't honestly think I treat my children any differently, and I can honestly say that I can communicate with all of them. My youngest one especially, she's in the forces and tends to be very much more broad-minded, and I can communicate with her on any subject. I also could with my son, but my eldest daughter and my middle daughter I find I have a problem with. I do sometimes have the feeling that if I say something, I've said the wrong thing.
You talk about it?
What, David?
I do. Yes, we do talk about it, but I find also that it's difficult to talk to the person in question about that problem.
I think that's sometimes one of the problems.
Yeah,
it's a communication problem in being able to actually say, okay, we'll put this on the table, this is the problem. You know, my feelings to you are like this. How do you feel? That's
right. I find that she feels that I'm putting her down, when in point of fact, probably out of all of the children, I feel more that she's the one that's going to be hurt the most then. So I feel she's very vulnerable. But when I say something, she feels I'm having a go at her, nagging. Whereas the other children take it as being, you know, okay, she said that, or Mum said that. And I could speak to my son, no problem, and he would come to me.
Is this the daughter just sitting you're talking about?
Yes.
Do you want to say anything? Does this upset you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I've got a word there. I've got a word there. Sometimes it is better to say, which I have said, this is not criticism, this is just a statement of fact, and sometimes you can say what you intend to say if you just rephrase it and think about it.
Yeah, but
especially if a child's sensitive, you've got to find out some children are more sensitive than others.
Yes, this is it, and you become as vulnerable as them though, don't you? It's very difficult then to actually not say, I'm criticising you. Because most times you're saying something in the heat of the moment. If it's that type of thing, you're saying it in the heat of the moment.
You're going to have to talk to her, you know.
Yeah.
You're
going to have to talk to her.
I mean, I love her dearly.
Put your arm round her then.
This one doesn't work. In spite of that, she knows I love her very dearly, don't you? But we're too close in temperament. We're very sparky. So that's just what
My mum, she's got a very, very strong personality.
Your mum?
Yeah. Really, everybody knows her, what she's like. She can get away with anything. And my sister, she's the eldest, and yet I'm her favourite. She's my dad.
How do you know?
He thinks
but
so.
I...
I know, he knows he is, doesn't he?
They go through phases, it depends what they've done
We
at the
both
time.
tend to take after her in a way, because we've both got strong personalities. The same as her, like, we're not like my dad.
Is he your favourite?
No. I don't have a favourite.
Look at his mouth! Look him in the eye, tell him that.
When there's an argument, because we've got like cat and dog.
What you got?
No, I've only got the two, but
I don't mean a favourite as in she will always stick up for me, or I get treated better. We're always treated exactly the same, as equals.
Are you treated?
always treated
You
the
feel
same.
that?
Whilst we were growing up.
Yeah. But as soon as there's an argument between us, she sticks up for me and my dad sticks up for her.
I was the referee.
I just wonder if some of these mothers and daughters, could it be like between my daughter and myself, we are so alike in temperament, and we do. I can see her making exactly the same mistakes as I did at the same age, and that really sort of gets to me.
So that crosses the sexes there. I mean, if
Yes.
you're saying...
I appreciate what Soraya was saying there.
Yeah, that it doesn't matter really if it's your son that has the same temperament as his mother, they're going to clash.
Well, no, but we don't, because we are so alike that we get on quite well. I can see all the mistakes he's making, and I try to correct them, as a mother should. But at the same time, I can see what my daughter's doing, and I think, oh, yes, love, I did exactly the same thing, and gosh, it led me into trouble or difficulties.
But
and that.
these two, I mean, I could have killed them many times. They used to fight.
Like
I don't mean.
We did it.
Yeah, a boy and a girl. I mean, I used to sit there like a referee.
Yes.
She's had a nosebleed,
I
I had the jaw cut out.
They used to be sister and brother. Yeah. He didn't fight with boys. He fought with his sister.
Hey, Henry, we wouldn't have stood for this,
I
would we?
mean, absolutely.
You listened to what he said?
Oh, deserve it.
Every day.
His sister and nosebleed.
Yeah. She broke his jaw nearly. Well,
I've been nasty.
Well, you
I must
punch him with a
admit,
good
I've been
right
nice. I've been really
What you
nasty to her,
saying,
but
like
she
you were
is.
saying about temperament.
You always interrupt each other.
Yeah, every time.
She talks when I do
But
when she does.
Carr is very quiet, a very quiet person, until she loses a rag, which he knows.
Get out the way.
He moves. He's very much like me in one way, but in another, he's very, very soft underneath, whereas Carr is very hard underneath.
Which is, yeah, but you, like she's very hard on top. Everybody thinks don't mess with Jean, you know, 'cause she'll flatten you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with Jean. Sue, you knew he was your mother's favourite, even though you were your father's favourite. How did that affect you, knowing that he was preferred? Because that's what favourite means, isn't it? It's saying, I prefer him for whatever reasons, in whatever way. What did it? Did it hurt?
Well, no, it didn't, because growing up, I always knew. Well, I just felt confident, and we just, well...
What if you hadn't had... So you got your father's love, so you were secure there. What if you hadn't got that? What about if your father had actually treated you both equally, but you knew he was your mother's favourite? What would that have done to you? Or is anybody here that's kind of got the rough end of that, felt that quite a few, that felt that there was somebody else in the family that was a favourite? What did it do to you?
In my case, coming from a large family, 7 children, and being a twin, there was situations where I was made to feel unwelcome. Unwelcome, and intimidated by probably innuendos and all that stuff. And being a twin, I mean,
I was actually banned.
I can't pick out many incidences. I mean, one time we went to my eldest brother's house, and this was about 15 years ago, and my sister says, "Oh no, we have to take him," meaning me. And when my parents' marriage broke down at the same time, was breaking down, it started to come more and more to the surface with the innuendos and all that. But it's taken me a long time to go. It's like I was set on constant guilt trips. That's the best way to describe it.
Why was you guilt? What was the guilt for?
I don't know.
You felt there's something wrong with you, presumably, because you weren't...
Yeah.
And how's that affected you?
Well, up until very recently, I used to feel guilty about it. I mean, like putting out olive branches to some of my brothers and sisters. And one recent case was my twin brother. He became a dad recently. And we had a man-to-man chat, and I tried to point a few home truths to him, and he just sort of just totally took no notice and tried to throw it back on me. But I put my bear up, and I mean, he said, "Let's be friends again." Whereas in the past, I tried doing that before, and he fobbed me off. So I said, you stabbed me in the back so many times, I've still got the scars. The wounds may heal, but still got the scars. So at this present time, there's no chance for us being friends again.
Well, I was adopted by my nan and granddad when I was 3 months old, and I grew up to be the favourite. And one of my oldest brothers, he's like 36 now, he grew to really hate me, and I was actually banned from his house. And since my dad died in June, it's been since then that I've been allowed in his house.
What's the age group between you and your brother, though?
Well, I'm 17.
And he's
36.
He's 36.
My oldest brother's 41.
Because I mean, like with me, I mean, it's like sort of me and my brother, and that was like 10 years between the two of us, and like we've got no problems whatsoever, because I mean, he like went away to boarding school because he was that little bit older, and so there's like the distance. So because I always thought that people who had like sort of a big sort of gap between like sort of their brothers, sisters, whatever, had like an easier time of it, rather than like when they're all together.
My true brother, Steve, is 18, and we are like true brothers. I mean, we've never argued. I mean, just stick together through everything.
If you were younger,
is
there less pressure when you're younger? Do you feel there's pressure on the older one to kind of...
I don't know. I mean, I find like
more was expected of me.
What, you're younger?
Yeah, I'm the baby of the family.
So you were more under pressure?
Yeah.
The younger one was more under pressure?
However much they achieved, I was expected to achieve as much.
Why? Mom, don't you get smiling like that, Mom. I can see that wry smile on you. Do you think did you help to create that, or is it just something they've got there?
No, I think it's something that she felt herself.
Just got to did you feel that, Justin? Was that part of your rivalry? Because the firstborn position is kind of clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's established, And then, yes, I thought I did. But also, just to go on from that, I was just thinking there was another change for me, which was when my sister was born, when I was 9 years old. And then 99% of the time, our family is pure love and everything. And we look forward to her being born, and she was born at home. We went to the little cot and we looked over in the middle of the night, and it was absolutely beautiful. Then my brother and I went back to the room that we shared, and we sat down, and it was like, well, that's it, mate. You know, like things are going to be different around the ranch from now on, you know, so it's changed.
And were they?
And they were, they were, in a different way, because we were just that one step removed then.
Mohammed, are you the oldest? I can't...
Yeah,
you are
the eldest son, yeah.
You're the do you feel that as the oldest there's pressure on you to
You know, it's interesting. I think that the thing that the eldest always... the eldest are almost like a stepping stone between they're the most, they're the experiments of the parents. Yeah. And after our birth, and we've been through a few things, the younger ones sort of look at what happened to us. Yeah. And then can learn more from us. So they almost have it better off.
Does it make it worse that you've got a famous name, Khashoggi's a famous name as well? Does that add additional pressure?
No, we've been lucky to always, been brought up as country boys. So we've never really been kept in the limelight.
Hussein, is there a difference in your position in the pecking order Henry was talking about?
Like, if you think about rivalry, right, what there tends to be is like, if you're rivaling against something, it's usually for the same objective. I mean, that tends to be the definition. So if you have different objectives in what you're thinking and what you're doing, then it doesn't tend to be that rivalry because you're supporting each one's objectives. And that's what we have. We each have our role and place, and we support it, and we maybe criticize
role.
it.
So you do see a role. Is Mohammed the head of the family, as it were?
Well, there certainly is a lot of, in the Saudi tradition, there's a lot of respect for the oldest. It's like a natural thing. My father is the oldest in his family, and so I saw the respect he gave my grandfather. So it's like a natural thing passed down that he's expected to be.
Is that how you treat him, Soraya?
He treats all of us that way. Yes.
Oh, Mohammed does?
Yes, he's sort of head of the family.
Oh, he's assumed it. It's there.
It's always been understood that that's it.
Right.
Head of the family.
Are you the head of the family?
Well.
Yes, you are, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Is he? Do you think of him as that way?
Well, he always
See,
was,
Mohammed does, but then he's saying it's part of his kind of Arab culture or Saudi Arabian culture anyway. But don't you feel?
But there was no rivalry between me and George against brother. We all knew he was the eldest, and we respected that. And all right, little things, as I said, like with the illustration of the sweets, he always had it. But there was never any jealousy between.
I was glad that I was the second son because my brother always kind of popped it first, and I could watch things happening to him, and then I knew what was coming.
Popped it first in what way?
Well, because he took it first. Had that responsibility of being the eldest. And
did you feel that with Bernard?
Well, when you were young, if the oldest one, if you got up to mischief, the three of you, the oldest one, obviously, he should have known better, and he got the...
I've noticed that some, for instance, my ex-husband had different expectations of the boys than he did of Nabila, our eldest daughter. For instance, my third son, my fourth son, all the boys are very musical, but one of them is a professional musician. And his father never accepted that. He said, if it was Nabila, it would be okay. Music's just a hobby. He's got to go to university and get a degree. And it's been a constant battle all the while.
I think if there is rivalry between brothers and sisters, it's up to the parents to put an end to it, or try and explain to the child that they shouldn't feel rivalry with the child, with their brother or sister.
I don't think it's
not a bad thing.
Yeah, go on.
Well, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm the oldest and I'm my mum's favourite, and the older of my two brothers is a second sort of favourite. The thing is, I've only got O levels, and my brother the middle one didn't even get CSEs, and the youngest has got HNDs. But my mum still thinks we're better than him and more intelligent.
But in the rivalry, you learn life, don't you?
If the youngest one had been the favourite, I don't think he'd have got to his HNDs.
And we've got to the end of the show. Just like that, HNDs or without them. Take care of yourselves. See you in the morning.